wood. Act 1, Ephesians 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Beauty, Ginger, Flame, and Honey accompanied Christopher down into the Black Valley on the other side of the hill. They kissed him goodbye and gave him some fresh acorns to eat on the way.
Keep your sword in your hand. Then you will be ready for whatever lies ahead.
And very soon, Christopher discovered just what did lie ahead. For sprawled out across the path, barring his way, laid a huge wildcat. His orange and black coat was torn and ragged, and one of his ears was missing. He got up and stretched himself when he saw Christopher approaching.
Where are you going, Mouse?
He drawled, surveying Christopher with his cold amber eyes.
I'm going to Evergreen Wood.
Really?
Then the end of his tail twitched as he were annoyed.
Do you know that this valley belongs to me, and that I do not like creatures passing through my valley?
I didn't. The path leads this way.
The path also leads back where you came from.
Revealing his long, sharp fangs.
Not going back.
The cat scuffed him around the head, knocking him over. For a moment, Christopher thought of turning around and running back to the great oak tree where the squirrels lived. But then he remembered that he did not have any armor on his back to protect him. He stood up, trying very hard to be brave. Then, taking courage, he lunged at the cat with his sword. The cat fleeced, screeching with anger. Then turned and set upon the mouse, knocking the sword out of his hand. Christopher fell to the ground, cut and bleeding. He almost gave up and wept pitifully. The cat was preparing to pounce again. Christopher roused himself just in time, and while crouching behind his shield, managed to catch a hold of his sword again. This time he held it in both paws and lashed out desperately with all his might and sliced through the air, cutting off the tip of the cat's tail. The wildcat screamed out in pain and ran off at great speed across the valley. Oh my! Part of the cat's tail. Oh! That poor tail. Okay. Now it's time to see what questions you may know. Let's see if I can might spill them again this week. Stick my dirty hand into it. Okay. What was the verse? Jackson.
Ephesians 6.
Close.
5.
Closer.
6. 7.
6. All right. And that verse was, put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the day of the devil. What was Christopher wearing?
I know.
What was Christopher wearing? Yeah, a sword. What else? A shield. And what else?
Cece, settle down.
The hat.
And what is the hat called?
He just told her.
Helmet.
Helmet. All right. And one other thing. Clara.
Breastplate.
Breastplate.
I'll keep it. Give me a stick when you're done.
What was he told to keep handy? What was he told to keep handy? Christy.
Sword.
The sword. The sword represents the Word of God. What did he come across? Dane.
A cat.
A cat. What type of cat?
A big orange cat.
A big orange and black cat.
It's tight.
It was called a wild cat. All right, here's for the ones. See how well you were listening. What was the cat missing? Bella.
Ear.
An ear.
At the end, he was like something else.
What did the wildcat ask Christopher?
Oh.
Kate. Yeah, well, what? I thought I heard you say it second time. Where was he going?
Oh.
Where was he going? And what was Chris's reply? Evergreen wood. That's right. What did the cat think about him going to Evergreen Wood? Huh? Bethany? That's right. He was annoyed. He didn't want him to do that. And what did the wildcat say to Christopher as who the valley belonged to? Stone. That's right. He said that that valley was his. Now, why was Christopher going through the valley? Cecilia.
So he can get to Evergreen Woods.
Yeah. And that's where the path went. That's where the path went. What did the wildcat reply to him about that? What was the wildcat's response? Hey.
That was his woods?
Yeah, we already discussed that. Anna.
The cat also also went the other way.
That's right.
Everything.
The path also goes back to where you came from. You know, that's how the devil works. That was a pretty good answer. And it's like, how do you answer that? Well, that is true. That's where it goes. And he's claiming that valley as his. So it's like, it didn't give Christopher much choice. Why did Chris not turn around and run? Isabel.
Because he's trying to get to Evergreen Woods.
Yeah, there's something else. There was an easy reason why he did not turn around and run. Elizabeth.
Because,
Okay, why? Why did he not turn around and run?
He had armor, he had a sword,
Okay. Alright. But there was a reason why he didn't turn around and run. Daniel!
It's because he didn't want to have to turn back to the oak tree and all.
No. Everything.
Because he didn't have armor on the back.
That's right, his breastplate only covered the front. It did not protect his back. So if he would turn and run, ooh, you know, that's the same way with dogs. If a dog comes out, you don't want to turn and run because then they know you're afraid and he'll run after you. It's always, you back up. You never turn and run from a dog because then they know you're afraid.
And dogs are with, unless it's a good dog. Yeah. And you want to play with it.
What did the wildcat knock away from Christopher? That's right, a sword!
You got the money thing? Yeah, he got. I got the money face.
Alright, now here's one thing to think about here. How did Chris win? Gotta think about that. How did Chris win? Abigail.
Because he cut the cat's tail off and the cat,
But how did he do that? How? There was a way. He did that. Oh, Jackson. All that time and you can't remember? Elizabeth.
Because God helped us.
But how did God help him?
I
Anna.
He covered himself with a shield and he got a sword again.
Closer. Closer. Okay. But how did he use his sword? Oh, you're a bit. He grabbed the sword with both hands. So he put his full effort into the sword. The sword is the word of God. So he put his full effort into the word of God. He put both hands on that and went forward with the sword of the Lord. Oh, I knew that was going to be. So, what did Christopher do to the wildcat? What did Christopher do to the wildcat? What did Christopher do to the wildcat?
He cut some of his tail.
That's right, he cut some of his tail off. Okay. All right, we're getting ready to return to the play. We'll see if they're awake back there.
Oh, Josh.
Now remember, be quiet. You know, this got moved. That pole's supposed to be in the upper hole.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Oh.
I'm wondering, and I know why.
Well, who set it up?
It wasn't us.
There we go. Oh, look at that. Why is that scenery crooked?
Christopher's still traveling uphill.
Yeah, it's all downhill now. Hey, we'll have to remember that when we go downhill or uphill, just switch the holes. Okay. Acts chapter 2. Psalm 23, verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Previously, Christopher had just battled a wildcat. Christopher laid on the ground, wounded and exhausted. The stream of living water flowed through the valley. Although its banks were overgrown with thorns and briars, Christopher hacked his way and bathed his wounds in the cool water. He was healed immediately. He sat down, ate some of the acorns that the squirrels had given him, and thought. He thought about the dreadful fight with the wildcat and wondered at his own courage. Courage which had enabled him to triumph over his enemy. He considered, too, that without the aid and assistance of Beauty, Ginger, Flame, and Honey, he would most certainly have had to turn back, for he would not have stood no chance of victory against the wildcat. Christopher hurried on. No.
We know. Go ahead.
How about now?
A blanket of thick black clouds hung overhead, and the ground grew soft and boggy. He tripped once or twice on clumps of deer grass that grew in the waterlogged valley. The pathway at last leading to higher ground had become a narrow ledge, cut precariously into the rocky hillside. Here and there the path had almost crumbled away, forcing him to hang on to the tufts of white sedge and purple heather, which grew out of the rocks, to save himself from slipping into the bog. Then he began to hear noises, strings, and eerie sounds piercing the darkness. Fluttering ghostly shapes in the air came within a whisker of him, then darting off again. Screams and screeches fell about him in a nightmare of terror. Christopher crept into a cleft on the hillside and tried to hide. He lay there trembling, striving to shut out the horrors of the Black Valley and wondering whether he had enough courage to go on. How long he lay there he could not tell. Perhaps hours. Even the morning sun found a break in the clouds and chased the creatures of the night back into their shadowy hideouts. The sunlight filled Christopher with new hope. He read some of the words in his book until he felt strong enough to go on. Then, as he stood up, he heard a voice ahead of him singing.
Even though I walk alone through the Black Valley far from home, on this way I shall not fear, hardship soon will disappear. And at last I shall be safe when I reach that wondrous place.
Hey, wait for me!
Meadow, Meadow, Meadow. He ran as best as he could without falling until he come upon the traveler. He was surprised to find his countryman, Woodley Woodmouse.
Why, Woodley, what are you doing here?
Christopher, I was hoping to meet you.
But how did you get here?
I left the dark woods soon after you. It didn't seem the same somehow after you left.
His soft brown eyes filled with sorrow.
I knew you were right about leaving. It just took me a little longer to make up my mind.
Christopher smiled.
Well, you're ahead of me now, so you must have overtaken me at some time. Is there any news from home?
Yes, I have a letter for you in my pocket. Your wife Christina gave it to me before I left.
Christopher spread the crumpled letter out on the pathway and read eagerly.
Dear Christopher, the children and I are very lonely without you. We are sorry now that we did not accompany you on your journey to the Evergreen wood, but we are planning to set off ourselves just as soon as we can. The white mouse tells us that we have to wait for somebody called the knight. I think he is some kind of trained guide. Anyway, the children are excited about it all and are looking forward to being together again, forever, as I am, dear husband. Yours, Christina.
The end.
It's only nighttime?
Oh, okay.
Reach in and see what I can pull out.
Window's right there. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I better watch out. Hopefully my wife didn't put a mouse back in there.
It's the window.
I know.
Note for next time.
What?
I gotta do the scrolls.
Oh, okay.
Let me see scroll.
Miss Carol will, one at a time, take one of your scrolls so we can add the next batch. So just keep your scroll handy. All right, so don't get it ripped up.
Jackson.
Okay. What was the verse? What was the verse to Act 2? Jackson. Well, there was a song in there, yeah. Oh, the verse was the verse a song from song? Well, it could be. What else might go with it? Isabel. What? 23. 23 what? Psalm 23, verse
17? 18. 1, 2, 3, 4,
There's not even 17 verses in 23.
24, 30.
What was that last number? What was that last number?
23.
That's right. Man, I gotta split that up.
4.
Jackson gets the book.
Ow! I said 4.
Isabel
Here, can I keep
I said the
got the chapter, and Cecilia got the verse.
I said
Man.
4.
No, you didn't. You said 17.
I said 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, when you count like that, I don't listen. All right. How did Christopher heal his wound?
Daddy.
How did Christopher heal his wounds?
Cece, I got a
No, eating didn't heal his wounds.
I know.
James.
He drank water.
So close.
Oh, well, I won't say he drank water, but what did he do with the water, James?
He drank it.
No, he didn't drink the water. What did he do with it? I know it's
He
something.
washed it.
He what?
He washed it.
That's right. He washed himself in the water.
No, I gotta say.
Hey, can I have the sticker?
And that was the stream of living water.
Yeah, I already have a silly sticker, but I'd like another one.
Dale.
Yep.
Now, how had the weather turned?
Buddy face?
Yeah.
How had the weather turned? Stone. It turned night. All right, well, that's how the day turned. How the weather turned. Christy.
Sure, Daniel.
That's
Buddy
right.
face.
It became cloudy.
You have yours?
What happened to the path?
End of the road. That's
What happened to the path? Emerson?
It became
Okay, but why was it crumbling?
because it was a rocky bed.
It was what?
It was like a rocky.
It was a ledge, yeah, a very narrow wedge. Ledge. Wedge. Oh, my tongue's getting all twisted.
Ledge.
What happened next? Bella, what happened next?
Heard the noises?
That's right, those eerie noises.
Like what?
Why did things turn against Christopher? Now, this might be one you might have to think about. This is something you're going to have to think about. Why
I know. It's still nighttime.
did things turn against Christopher?
The noise.
Abigail.
Because they didn't want him to leave the valley. They wanted him to save her.
That's not a bad thought. But really, what it was is that his faith started to waver.
Can I say?
His faith started to waver. And when your faith starts to waver, that means you're losing your trust in God. All right, here's another one to think about. What did the sunlight fill Christopher with? What did the sunlight fill Christopher with? Kate? Huh? Don't know. You had your hand up.
Put it down.
Emerson.
Courage to go on?
The courage to go on. New hope.
Yes.
New hope.
Why did you
Courage
put it on your
to
arm?
go on. Now in the Bible, what is represented by the light?
Sticker.
In the Bible, what is represented by the light? Jackson. Wait! Wait! Oh no! Okay?
God's word.
That's so
Okay? What does the light represent in the Bible? Yeah. Jesus!
Oh, you are.
Jesus is the light. What did Christopher read from? What did Christopher read from? Daniel! That's right, his Bible. Now, why did he read from his Bible? Why did he, Christy? Feeling left out? No, no, no. Anna? Oh, Isabel. They missed him? No, no, no. What? Well, let me ask you this. Why do you read from the Bible?
So we can know about God.
Huh? Why do we read from the Bible? And it's not what she said. It's not what she said. Daniel.
It read him because it makes him happier. So you keep on going.
Yeah, happier. He read the Bible for strength. For strength. What did he hear next? What did he hear next? Clara. That's right. He heard a voice singing. And who was singing? Who was singing? Okay then. No! Father? Bethany. The what? No, not the swamp rat. Not the swamp rat. Isabel. The city mouse? Well, it was a mouse. Bella. He was a friend from where he used to live. Elizabeth. That's his last name. That's his last name. What's his first name? Okay. No, but it does start with a W. Daniel? What? No, but you're closer. Oh my goodness. What was his first name? That's right, Woodley. Woodley Woodmouse. Woodley Woodmouse from his town. Who said Woodmouse? Who said Woodmouse? Is that Elizabeth? Is that Elizabeth? You say Woodmouse?